Okay, today is March 14, 2015. Let's take a look at the US dollar. Look at the US dollar future chart here, and basically looking at the weekly right now. As you can see, I have a little baseline here drawn in right here at this level, somewhere around the 86.50. And you can see that been trying to break through that level for quite a number of years. And only until recently, back in October last year, it actually broke out. Then after it broke out briefly, it pulled back and then kind of pull back and hover here a little bit, test this baseline a few times before it broke out once again. And then on the second time, when it broke out, it just went into this parabolic move here. And it's typical of these type of breakout nowadays because with so many people eyeing these type of breakout level, the first time that it break out usually could be a false breakout, and sometimes I call this a a little bit of a shake and bake, right? So it break out and then pull back and then shake the weak hand, shake them out, and then break out again, and then go on to its proper course. But before we talk about this parabolic move here, let's go back and take a look at this area here, okay? Because it's kind of interesting. It took so many time to and test this level before it actually broken through. And if also we put in a Fibonacci retracement tool here, and kind of take a look at so many times it just kind of pull back to this zone here, right? This what we call the retracement zone, the 382 and the 618. Okay, so it kind of pulled back to this level here, then that go up and test that 100% level, essentially that 60, that 8650 level, right? So it's kind of interesting, and to note, the other interesting thing to note is this 2818. Okay, this sitting at somewhere around this 101.50 level. Okay, so if I let me zoom in on this here, and then we could take a closer look, right? So this is this parabolic move on this on the dollar here now. You can see I got this arc here kind of drawn in here, and so here's the 261 extension based on this Fibonacci retracement level. So keep an eye on this 101.50. That could be one of the level because there's some confluence within this 101.30, 101.50 area. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more here. Let's get over to the daily chart, looking at the daily time frame here. And let me see if I could zoom out a little bit so we get a little bit more prices here. Okay, so let's take a look at here. And here, if we use the Fibonacci extension tool and take a look at the symmetry, right, for price symmetry move, okay, and if you can see, here's that 100. Essentially, we are tracing this move to be the same magnitude as this move here, and this will bring it up to somewhere around this 101.70 area. Right, so this pretty much in confluence with the 261 at this 101.50, right? And if we also take a look at it using the Fibonacci retracement tool, and here you have this 161, which is somewhere around 1130, 1150, I believe. Oh, here is 101, I mean 101.20 level, somewhere around there. It's all depend how accurately you put these swing point for the retracement. I'm just kind of roughly eyeballing these, so if you want to play with it, just go back and kind of align it with the peak and the trough, the valley of this, the swing. So you could get these levels. The idea is, the point here is that there's some confluence near this 101.30, 101.50 area. All right. So, and with this hyperbolic move here, and it seemed like that this particular move, could be coming to maybe a little bit of a resistance here at this 101.50 area, and it might be a blowout that this move on the U.S. dollar might terminate up here, right? Because right now, with the strong dollar, it is beginning to impact a lot of the multinational, U.S. multinational company and a lot of tech company because they all do a lot of their, sell overseas. So a lot of revenue is from the overseas and also earning. So that's going to be impacting them quite a bit if this U.S. dollar continue to strengthen. And matter of fact, right now you start hearing some of these company earning report coming out to see how, indicating how the strong dollar start impacting the earning, and also projecting or even revising the future earning projection downward because of the U.S. dollar. So, and also in addition is the next week the Fed is holding a meeting, the FOMC. Okay, so in a minute, my guess is, a lot of people is thinking that the Fed will raise interest rate in June or sometime this year. My thinking is that that would be the last thing or the worst thing the Fed could do right now with the dollar in such a a strong position. If we increase the rate, it just make the dollar strengthen further, and that will impact more on these the psychological the psychology of these companies, right? Then when they see the never ending of the strengthening of the dollar, they cannot plan. So when there's uncertainty, these company corporations just pull back and kind of sit there and sort of like wait and see attitude. So with that kind of wait and see attitude, it could easily push the U.S. economy back to another recession. So I don't think the Fed want to see that, okay? Because when these companies feel uncertain and they're not going to do anything, so as those they're going to put freeze on hiring and also on expansion, then just a little bit of a domino effect. So what my guess is, just purely a guess. I don't have I'm not the fly in the wall, that I pretend to be able to, read into the Fed's mind. But I believe that they will take out that word patient. Okay, sort of indicating that, okay, we are watching it really closely, and it will re-emphasize that they will watch the data, more carefully to see, when is a good time to raise the rate, okay? Because they don't want to get behind the inflation curve too far, but, most likely they will, but it doesn't matter how far behind that they will get behind, that inflation curve. But that's another story for another day. Okay, so right now we probably will see the Fed try to talk the dollar down. Okay, because they cannot, reduce the rate any further because it's just like a currency war right now. Every central bank is reducing the rate and doing the QE. So we just proliferate that effect, and if we go and reduce the rate again, we just sort of encourage the other central bank to do the likewise. So it's a never-ending endeavor if we do that. So basically, been saying that the Fed have pinned itself into a corner. Right? It can't increase the rate, okay? And it can't reduce the rate. But the dollar is too darn strong that they have to do something to get the dollar down. So they're going to try to talk it down. And in order to talk it down, they have to have this talking piece. And I believe, this FOMC minute, by taking out the patient and re-emphasizing watching the data carefully, then that they might, try to hope that that will sort of trigger the market, the sentiment that, they're going to be, keeping an eye on the dollar and not let it go, any further. And that we might be able to see some sort of reversal on the U.S. dollar, and maybe we get a little bit of a blowout at this 101.50 area and then come back down. Or the market might take it as a hint initially, and then they figure out that there's no backbone between behind what the Fed is saying and what they might do. Then it might come back, maybe it'll come back down and then retrace back up and then blow off again. So we'll see, right? But right now, the U.S. dollar is the key. We have to be watching the U.S. dollar carefully because it's impacting almost everything, especially, the commodity. And you can see the crude oil is being impacted, dramatically every time the U.S. dollar goes up. The crude oil, price go down. Okay, so although there is that supply and demand, but that's a temporary issue. We could fix that pretty easily. Somebody just have to blink. Okay, but the U.S. dollar is the key. So hopefully, something's going to get done and get the dollar back down. Otherwise, I think the U.S. economy is going to be in trouble. And if we get into trouble, I think the whole world is going to be in a heap of trouble. So good luck and enjoy your weekend.